Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're diving into something I know we've all pulled our hair out over at least once: getting those flight and hotel bookings sorted for international visa applications. If you've ever applied for a visa, you already know about the absolute mountain of paperwork involved. But today, we're going to walk through a really specific, super cost-effective guide that is going to save you both a chunk of money and, honestly, a massive amount of anxiety.
Right off the bat, you might be wondering, why are we calling these dummy tickets? Like, why aren't we just talking about normal flight tickets and regular hotel bookings? Well, it's a great question, and the answer is actually the key to a huge stress reliever for international travelers. So, what actually is a dummy ticket? Basically, it's just a provisional itinerary. It exists for literally one reason and one reason only: to check off that box on your strict visa application requirements. It shows the embassy your intended travel route, where you plan to go and where you plan to sleep, without you having to actually go out and purchase a fully paid, non-refundable ticket up front.
To get why this is such a game changer, let's zoom out and look at the whole visa application process. You know the drill. When you apply to visit another country, the embassy demands a massive stack of documents. You've got your personal documents, a detailed cover letter, your day-by-day itinerary, travel insurance, but right down there at the bottom of the list are the real heavy hitters: flight tickets and hotel bookings. The embassy absolutely wants to see exactly how you're getting there and where you're staying.
And this right here creates the ultimate catch-22. I like to call it the visa dilemma. Think about it. You're applying for this visa, and there is absolutely zero guarantee you're going to get approved, right? Yet the standard procedure seemingly asks you to risk thousands, sometimes even lakhs of rupees on actual confirmed flight tickets and hotel stays. If your visa gets rejected, poof, you lose that money. It's an incredibly stressful financial risk to take, and that is exactly where dummy tickets save the day.
Now you're probably thinking, okay, I'll just use some online free hack, or I'll just pay a guide to do it for me. But watch out, because these are massive booking traps. Years ago, sure, there were free hacks. People used little loopholes, like this one really popular trick with Indigo Airlines, to generate itineraries for free. But airlines caught on, and those loopholes are completely closed today. This leaves travelers at the mercy of travel agents. And those agents, they'll often charge you thousands of rupees just to generate a super simple provisional itinerary. It's a really expensive trap.
Just look at this cost difference. It's kind of wild. Travel agents will happily charge you anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 rupees just for a single piece of paper showing a provisional flight. But the DIY method we're exploring today, it costs exactly 472 rupees. I mean, why pay an agent a massive markup when you can literally just do this yourself for a fraction of the cost?
Okay, really quick but absolutely crucial warning here. This method we're talking about, it is strictly 100% only for visa applications. If you're planning to actually travel and you think, hey, I'll just use a 400 rupee dummy ticket to board a one-way flight at the airport, let me stop you right there. It will absolutely not work. You need a real, actual flight ticket to board a plane. This workaround is purely to satisfy the embassy's paperwork requirements during the visa process. Gotta keep that boundary clearly in mind.
All right, let's jump into the step-by-step booking guide and navigate this cheap and stress-free DIY workaround. Getting started is super simple. You just head over to dummytickets.com. Now, yeah, there are a bunch of sites out there, but this is the one that was specifically tested for this exact method. Right on the homepage, you just choose what you need: a flight, a hotel, or both. Next, punch in your intended route. So, for example, typing in Delhi to Zurich, Switzerland, and then selecting your intended travel dates. Once you've got that set, just click Buy Dummy Ticket. Next up, you'll need to drop in your essential passenger details. And hey, accuracy here is totally non-negotiable. You'll need to enter your phone number, and please remember to include your country code. Next is your email address. Triple check this one, because this is where your ticket is actually going to be delivered. Then, enter your name exactly as it appears on your passport. Like, if you only have a single name on your passport, just enter a single name. Then, finish up with your date of birth and your nationality.
To wrap up the request, the site's going to ask what the purpose of the dummy ticket is. Make sure you select Visa Submission. That part is key because it ensures the itinerary is generated in the exact format that embassies actually expect to see. Then, choose Receive Now if you want it right away, pick your city, and hit Make Payment. It really is just that straightforward.
And boom! There it is, 472 rupees. That is exactly what this whole shebang should cost you. No agent markups, no hidden fees that suddenly cost thousands of rupees. Just a flat, incredibly cheap fee to lock down the documentation you need to move your visa application forward. Taking care of that payment is super flexible too. The platform gives you a few ways to pay.
You can use your standard debit or credit card, or honestly, what's way easier, you can just use UPI. A barcode will pop up right there on the screen, and you literally just scan it with your phone to pay instantly.
Now look, anytime we talk about cheap online services, the very first thought is usually, okay, is this a scam? And that's totally fair. To guarantee this wasn't fraudulent, the person who originally documented this exact hack actually went through the process and paid a second time just to verify this system works perfectly before putting it out there. So that definitely adds a nice layer of reassurance to this whole DIY method. Success. Once you hit pay, you'll get a transaction successful message, and usually within about an hour, a complete, super professional-looking dummy itinerary drops right into your inbox. The system is great at generating highly realistic provisional tickets, like a Qatar Airways itinerary, for example. You literally just download that PDF, print it out, attach it to your visa application, and you've entirely bypassed the need for a travel agent.
So we just saw how to take that cost from 2,500 rupees all the way down to a cool 472. But hey, the world of travel hacks is always shifting, right? As we learned earlier, the old free Indigo hack is totally dead, so I'll leave you with this question. Do you happen to know a cheaper, or maybe even a completely free hack for generating dummy tickets that actually works today? If you do, that is exactly the kind of knowledge that empowers travelers everywhere. Keep exploring, keep learning, and as always, safe travels as you conquer that visa paperwork.